Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Crypto Bobby. Hope you are having a great day, great night, wherever you're watching in from. Wanted to hop onto for another impromptu edition of a Crypto Live YouTube happy hour here, where we are talking about the day's action in the crypto world. It's obviously been a pretty crazy day, pretty crazy 24 hours. I'm sure a lot of you, especially if you're new to the crypto space, this was your first introduction to HODL. This was your first introduction to the negative volatility of what crypto brings to the table, because I think a lot of people out there for the past couple months have just seen sunshine, rainbows, and happiness, and crypto, unfortunately, is not always that way. So this was an interesting day, to say the least. Hopefully, if you got in towards, let's say, the top of what things previously have been, 17,000, 18, 19, 16, whatever it might have been, hopefully you've been all right. Hopefully it wasn't too rough for you, and you're all good to go there. So what is going on, guys? I appreciate the time. Looks like we're starting to, again, this is a little bit impromptu here. So looks like things are starting to heat up in the chat. I have a little bit of that High West Yippee-Ki-Yay rye left over. So cheers to you. It's the weekend, coming up on a holiday weekend here in the U.S. So if you're celebrating, if you're celebrating Christmas or any other holidays, happy holidays to you. So already kicking things off with a super chat there. Thank you very much, Ha. Appreciate that. Opinion on Bosch's investment into IOTA. Haven't done too much research into Bosch's specific investment in IOTA. I think obviously IOTA is a pretty big moonshot from a technical perspective. Obviously, if it pans out, if it can work like they say it can work, it has incredible potential and incredibly strong implications for technology and for crypto assets, but I think that is an if, not necessarily a definitive answer. So there have been people that have been fairly astute in terms of technical skills that have said some maybe not so great things about IOTA. There's also been some pretty strong refutes of those, specifically from the IOTA team, and then MIT, or some people from an MIT research facility have said some not so great things. So we'll have to see what ends up going on there. But I think you have to do your own research. Obviously, not everybody has that level of technical expertise to run research on something like IOTA. But regardless, you want to take in the good, the bad, the good, the bad, everything in between, and try to make your own decisions, your own thought process on what all of that means. Cody, what's going on, dude? Appreciate that super chat. Happy Halloween. Yes, happy Halloween. What cheap bags did you pick up today and add to the portfolio? So for me personally, and a lot of, I mean, I think overall speaking, everybody, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Everybody says buy the dips. Everybody says buy the dips. But how many people actually do it? I think that's the biggest thing. Not that many people, when you're supposed to buy the dips, it's when everybody is freaking out. It's when there's all this terrible news coming out. It's when nobody wants to do, it's just when there's a lot of bad things happening. So it's hard to buy the dips. You would think psychologically speaking, it would be really, really easy to, be easy to buy the dips. It'd be easy to go through that process, but it's not always. So I think it's a good lesson for a lot of people looking back at the past 24 hours here, or actually the past 3 days on the Bitcoin chart, where we have, Bitcoin was all the way up to 18 grand, dropped all the way basically down to $10,000 or so, mid 10K, and is now back up to about 14.5. Good lesson learned. Look back. What did you do? Did you buy low? Did you buy high? Did you sell low? Did you freak out? Did you think the world was ending? Did you hold to your principles, and did you actually buy the dip? Because if you did, good on you. But regardless of how things go, learning experience. So always look back, look at the moves you did, and see how things developed for you, and kind of where things were for you, and try to learn from them as much as possible. So getting back to that super chat, thank you again, Cody. What cheap bags did I pick up today? So I went with Bitcoin and Cardano. Those are right now, Bitcoin and Cardano are quite frankly two of my favorite plays. I'm really excited about Cardano specifically. So I bought Cardano on the dip today. Also bought quite a bit of Bitcoin as well. So, just looking at the dip, taking things going lower. I did not personally sell anything. So I just continued to add to the stockpile over time, which is kind of ultimately my end goal with all of this. And I don't know if it's actually going to pan out or not, but on Twitter today, so actually a few hours ago, there's somebody that is, somebody was tweeting something in regards to Cardano. And let me see if I pull it up here. So I'll pull it up. So somebody mentioned, here we go. Somebody tagged me in a comment about Cardano. They're having a little bit of an issue with the wallet, and then Charles Hashgraph, who's actually one of the forefathers in a lot of sense of IOHK and Cardano, responded to that, and I just had a quick response. I saw he was on Data Dash's channel, which was pretty cool. Data Dash had a really good interview with Charles, and I just made a little bit of a joke and said, hey, where's my interview? And actually was able to get an email from Charles, and hopefully I'm in the process of setting that up. So would be awesome to hopefully have an opportunity to interview Charles. We'll see if that ends up happening, if we get that on the schedule. But I would love the opportunity to speak with him. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Cardano and big fan of Charles personally. I just like the way he's a very eloquent dude, really strong teaching style. I'm a big fan. So if I get that opportunity, I'm really going to put in a ton of preparation just to make sure that interview is not action-packed, knowledge-packed and flawless. So hopefully that will end up going down. I sent that email before, and thanks to whoever that was that basically accidentally set that up. Shoot or shoot. Harsha Bing has mentioned Dent like 10 times. Unfortunately, I don't know too much about Dent, so. And it's kind of funny too. Now, as we're zooming out a little bit on the, so I'll sort this by market cap, but this was a crazy day in crypto just from an overall perspective. I mean, there were certain points where this was down like way low. This was down way low. I mean, I think when I made the video this morning, crypto, the overall market cap was at like 420 billion. So we've already recovered about 120 billion dollars in market capitalization, which is crazy to think about, like those swings. I mean, that's a massive swing. If you have a significant size portfolio, I mean, you're talking about, you probably saw perhaps a 5-figure, depending upon how big of a portfolio you have, maybe a 6-figure swing in the past 24 hours. And it was some type of move. For a lot of people, I'm sure it was tough to not do anything. The one thing I would recommend in a lot of respects, and in some cases too with Bitcoin kind of gives you the old forced hodl, because right now the transactions are so slow and the fees are so high, you really can't do all that much. So that's certainly something to take into account. But for me personally, one of the things too, I mean, I talk a lot about it, but the process of holding, the process of kind of going through, making sure that I don't panic sell anything. I think having an inaccessible ledger, having an inaccessible treasure, a hardware wallet, whatever it might be, making that difficult to get to. If you are really confident in your portfolio, like if tonight you're confident in your portfolio, what's going to change about that tomorrow or a week from now or whatever? So I would say that if you always get the kind of itch to do something, and if you've done something stupid multiple times when it comes to trading, when it comes to selling low, then going through the process of just making it hard to access the hardware wallet is a positive thing. So I would recommend doing that if you made some dumb moves in the past. So one question here from Sammy McD. What's going on, dude? Appreciate that super chat. Rumors spreading about a possible deal between Facebook and Litecoin. I've heard a couple different comments about that. I don't know how realistic that is. Some of these rumors, to be honest, let's see if I can find anything. If anybody has a link to it, I'd love to see it. I don't know. I don't know why Facebook personally would. I don't know why Facebook personally would do anything with Litecoin for the time being. Nothing against Litecoin. I don't know why Facebook really necessarily has to do anything with crypto in general for the time being. So let's see where this news is coming from. To be honest, there's been a lot of fake news, not to use that stupid term, but there's been a lot of fake news in the past about crypto, whether it's Amazon accepting Bitcoin and, all these people pumping their own newsletter and having some type of ulterior motive behind it. Look at the source of the rumor and look what they have to gain by pumping this rumor. Are they selling a newsletter? Are they trying to become popular? Do they have a website? Whatever it might be. I have no idea the exact source of the rumor here. And so somebody else, this is all from Reddit, but 100% confirmed Facebook not adding Litecoin. So, who knows? Who knows what that's? I think that's sarcastic, but that was just a sarcastic post, so probably stupid in and of itself. But yeah, from that perspective, it is something that you just have to look at the source of the rumor, because a lot of this is rumors, and until somebody gives you something really solid to grasp onto, I wouldn't be too worried about that personally. Don't rain on the parade. Yeah, I'll try not to. That's my job here. I love raining on parades. TJ4 more ADA for you. Thanks a lot, man. What's Hashgraph all about? So I've heard a lot of people now talking about Hashgraph. I haven't gone through the process yet of, let's see. So this was something that it's on the list now, where let's pop it over here. So I think in some cases, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't gone through I haven't gone through a full research of Hashgraph. So I haven't gone through a full research of Hashgraph, but I will definitely try to in the very near future, like within the next 24 hours, I'll try to do that. But I think that it's not necessarily a new blockchain. It's trying to be something different, kind of in the way that IOTA might be. And you can see here that it's one of the big things is supposed to be fast. 4,000 transactions per second, secure, all that stuff. I haven't seen a full technical analysis of this. So for me to say anything specifically would be ingenuine. So I don't want to say anything specific there, positive or negative. But a lot of people now come out with, this is faster than Bitcoin, this is faster than Ethereum, this is better than Bitcoin, this is better than Ethereum. Whatever. The big thing is, does it actually work, and does it do what it says it can? And I don't know if this can. I don't know if this can't. But did they have the team in place to be able to execute on that? And that's why, in a lot of respects, personally, I like my bet on Cardano long term. A lot of people like the bet on. A lot of people like the bet on IOTA as well. So kind of regardless of where it might be. We'll have to see. So, Greg, appreciate that super chat, dude. Sorry it took a little bit longer to get to you there. Have you looked into Icon ICX? About 2 weeks into my crypto journey, and last night was a real test, but I held strong and bought the dip. So, yeah, I think so. Number one, if you're new to crypto, welcome to the party. It is an interesting time, to say the least. So I would just say welcome, first of all. But outside of that, too, so, last night, today was an absolute learning experience. Absolute learning experience. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely no way you can really deny that. It was an excellent time to learn about crypto, to learn about yourself, to see how you react to these situations. Because let's be really frank, a 30% volatility in crypto is not that crazy. There have been times where, and a lot of people historically don't want to, a lot of people historically don't acknowledge it, or they'll listen to it, but they won't ever they're like, yeah, Bitcoin's dropped this much in the past, so whatever. You don't really know how you're going to react until it actually happens. And this was definitely one of those times where it happened. as far as the Icon token sale in general, I didn't participate in the ICO. I know they ICO'd fairly recently. They've been out, I guess, publicly traded since November. I haven't done all the research that I probably can on the Icon network yet, on the Icon token. I know Don Tapscott's a pretty big dude in the Bitcoin world, although he got in trouble for some maybe misleading statements in a recent when he was trying to recently open up some things as well. But yeah, I need to do a little bit more research on these guys to give you anything specifically. So I'll throw them onto the list. But I mean, you see some nice resiliency there. I don't know what's driving that news, but looks like an all-time high up to $3.29, dropped as low as maybe sub $2, around $2 in the past couple days. Really shot back up. So nice resiliency there. I'm not exactly sure what that might be coming from, though. So somebody said, couldn't Facebook use Litecoin to run the entire Facebook network and revolutionize it? Isn't that the most important point? I think that'd be massively oversimplifying. You know, I don't know all about Facebook's back end, but the number of transactions or the number of actions that take place on Facebook, I would assume, are in the thousands and thousands per second, and Litecoin could probably handle 2% of that. So I don't think there's any chance on God's green earth that Litecoin could handle anywhere near of the, just computing power that Facebook needs to run probably one of the most heavily utilized between Facebook, between Instagram, between WhatsApp. I mean, you're talking about one of the, you're talking about probably one of the more technically advanced companies probably on the planet. So, I don't see any benefit to them whatsoever running Litecoin, or even how they would run Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin's basically a Control-V copy-paste of Bitcoin. So, how would that happen? So I don't know. I think a lot of people like to, point to the fact of, a lot of people like to point to whatever company is going to adopt Bitcoin, whatever company is going to adopt cryptocurrency, and that's the hip, that's the cool, that's the fun thing to say. But until they do, that's number one. And you got to give these companies a reason to. And right now, in a lot of respects, there are not that many people transacting on these. There's not that many people transacting on these networks. And even too, I mean, Bitcoin is the biggest dog in the room right now, and it is. Biggest dog in the room right now, and it is not it's not that usable from a transactional electronic peer-to-peer cash perspective. I know somebody asked before, thoughts on Bitcoin Cash. I don't like the way Bitcoin Cash markets, or specifically a few different people than Bitcoin Cash's ecosystem market, but I do like. I don't really like it, but I do think that there is a real issue with. I really do think that there is an issue with transaction fees right now with Bitcoin Cash. I mean, with Bitcoin, there's an issue with things taking a significant amount of time. I posted on Twitter today, but I have a transaction that I sent from Steemit Blockfolio, or excuse me, Block Trades with Steemit to my Ledger Nano S, and it's been unconfirmed for 3 days. So, I mean, that's not great. That's unfortunate, but we'll have to see. So looking at a couple of these questions here. TS Green, what is up, dude? Appreciate that super chat. Hey, Bob, I've been watching for about a month. Appreciate the channel. Thanks for the kind words. What are your thoughts on the Lightning Bitcoin fork? Another Bitcoin fork? Let me. I can't keep track of the Bitcoin forks. I can't do it. I won't do it. I probably should do it, but most of them are whatever, man. Honestly, most of them are whatever. Bitcoin Cash is Obviously, a highly supported fork, Bitcoin Gold, I guess, was kind of like the next big one that got a certain level of support. But I think now people are like, all right, stop with the forks. Like, get out of here. You're not actually doing anything. Like Bitcoin Gold, like kind of got in right before everybody was like, okay, idiots, stop with the forks. So I don't know about all the other forks that have been happening. I mean, if you get credit for them and if you want to keep them and hold on to them, fine, whatever. But and then so two, I don't know if that was referring to the Lightning Network, which is something completely different than a fork. So let's see. I think there was a talk recently on this. No, not Lightning. So here's a talk, Lightning Technologies. Let's see. I want to blow out your eardrums there, but if you guys want to watch this on, if you want to watch that on Bloomberg, there is the link. So that was, I believe, the CEO of Lightning Labs, and it's kind of a second layer, additional layer on top of. Basically, you have Bitcoin as a settlement layer. Lightning is on top of, can allow for interchain transactions, a lot of other crazy things, but I think it's still fairly far away depending. And I've heard people say Lightning is going to change the game, and I've also heard people rip it to shreds, technically speaking, and just from an adoption perspective. So all over the place. You got to just, we'll have to see how that develops, but I think even too, it seems to be maybe a little bit farther out than people hope. Oh, so there's going to be a fork of Bitcoin called Lightning Bitcoin? Now pass. Felipe, thoughts on Verge, XVG? Where's the homies from Verge? McAfee, Shillcoin. What do we got here? So Verge basically back almost to the all-time high. I think the all-time high was maybe 16 cents or so. Back all the way up to 15 cents. $2.2 billion Verge is, back from a month ago when it was less than $100 million in market cap. I mean, Verge has absolutely exploded. Absolutely exploded. I don't know if that's specifically people trying to get on board with another privacy coin, trying to find the next big thing. I don't know if that's specifically McAfee. I know John McAfee pumped up Electronium as well. So, and then he picked another one today, and he's basically shilling a new coin every single day, which is good or bad, depending upon if you have that coin. But yeah, I mean, as far as Verge goes, for me personally, like I'm a fan of both Monero and Zcash, privacy coin wise. But I mean, Zcash is almost, where's Zcash? Zcash is worth less than Verge is right now, I believe, unless I'm crazy. Verge might be worth more than Zcash, and Zcash probably from a technical perspective has, technically speaking, I think Zcash is a superior crypto to Verge, but these markets aren't necessarily rational. That's one thing you absolutely have to keep in mind when it comes down to crypto, is that all it takes is one person with a couple 100,000 people on Twitter to pump up a coin, or a bunch of people to get excited, or some Reddit to take some subreddit to take off. It could be the best cryptocurrency in the world. It could be the worst crypto in the world, but it doesn't really matter. Like, there are a lot of cryptos out there that have pumped real hard. There are a lot of cryptos out there that have done really well that I think are pretty crappy, technically speaking. I think that they don't deserve anywhere near the valuation that they have. Do I invest in them? Not typically, but I think that I think that it is. I think it's something to consider in the future. Is that regardless of where things go, even the most, I think in a lot of respects, even the most intelligent analysts, even the most intelligent like hedge funds out there, they have these like really smart, heady, analytical approaches, and then somebody can just tweet something, and then that crypto is just going to pop back through the roof and go from there. And Sean mentioned something. Sean mentioned a good thing there, and he said it's all about marketing. In a lot of respects, it is. In a lot of respects, a lot of these crypto assets out there, it is all about marketing. I know a lot of people, I mean, even just off the top, like Electroneum, I'm not the biggest fan of Electroneum. They marketed their ICO incredibly well. Do they do anything specifically different than a lot of other crypto assets? No, but they marketed that they did, or they marketed that themselves very well. And because of that, their ICO crushed it, and they've crushed it since the ICO, regardless of any technical issues that they've had. So you got to give them credit where credit is due. And it's something that, you know, outside of just pure technicals, marketing is an aspect of these crypto assets in the future as well. If anybody's drinking anything good tonight, would love to hear about, would love to hear about that as well. Just going through some of these questions. When is that Bobby coin coming out? I don't know if it ever is. Not trying to sell out anytime soon. What is up? What is up, guys? So Scrub Mart, thank you very much for that super chat, dude. I really do appreciate that. Looking to accumulate more Bitcoin, hoping for 13.5. Should I set an order a bit higher? Do you think we'll dip to my target? To be pretty honest, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, me saying that would be saying I can predict the future. I don't know if I can predict the future. I would think there's probably a pretty solid likelihood that 13.5 would fill. I would set that order. Maybe if you want to set part of an order at 14K or just above 14K, the other part at at 13.5, then you can certainly do that. Do a tiered order or do multiple orders in a tiered fashion. And that's always a helpful way to do things, because if it dips to that tier and then hops up, then at least you filled part of that order, got part of that dip. But if it goes all the way down, then you get that advantage of at least having the protection of that as well. So I think tiered orders in multiple stages are helpful. So if you like the number 13.5, if that's where you're hoping to accumulate, set an order there. Maybe set an order at like 14.50 or something like that. And that way, if it bounces off 14, you hopefully get it right before it bounces, and then you'd be good to go. Samuel L. De Niro, thank you very much for that super chat, dude. I really do appreciate that. Very nice of you. So we got a couple different people drinking out here. Tito's with a splash of OJ. Why you got to ruin Tito's like that? I'm kidding. Yingling, Red Crown, Regal Apple. Manitha was up to 20 cents. Manitha. Margaritas, because that's what's available. Margaritas sound delicious right now, even though it's the winter. But margaritas, Coca-Cola and grenadine, non-alcoholic, but that sounds pretty delicious. That sounds pretty fantastic. So I would love some Coca-Cola and grenadine as well. Awesome. Why is nobody talking about Vibrate? I don't know. Somebody just called me a gumball head? Or is that the name of a liquor? I don't know. Coors Light, keeping it classy. I love it. Nothing like some good light beer. Coors Light is football beer. That's what you have when you're tailgating and or when you're sitting at home and you're watching football and there's nothing else to do on a Sunday but sit back, kick your feet up, and chill. And Coors Light is great beer for that. Somebody said, you left the chat a bit fast last night. Unlike myself, did you sleep? I slept like a baby last night. Actually, no, I was petrified. No, I slept like a baby. Ramen noodles because all my money is in crypto. Well, food only lasts for a couple hours, maybe a couple days. Crypto lasts forever, hopefully. I want to buy Bobby some rye with Bobby coin. I would love that. Send it my way. Send it my way. Thoughts on the new tax bill being the reason for the dip? I don't think that would have any specific indication. So I don't think that'd have any specific indication. Somebody said, how do you make the majority of your crypto income? For me personally, I mean, crypto assets, crypto investing, it is my side speculative bet. I don't do this full time. I don't just make YouTube videos, and I don't just pump out BitConnect loans or something stupid like that. I actually have a real career and all that type of stuff. So, and I do the normal people stuff. I put money in my 401k. I put money in the in the stock market portfolio that earns a boring but steady 6, 8, maybe 10% a year. And then crypto is my fun money. It's my fun investments. It's my hobby now as well. So how do I make the majority of my crypto income? I mean, I wouldn't say any of it's income. I'm kind of investing in a lot of respects in the purpose of hopefully growing up a significant size portfolio to one day do whatever I might want to do with it. But I don't really look at crypto as income. Like, I don't need the crypto income. I don't need passive crypto income or anything like that. So this is more of just kind of an investment portfolio that I'm looking to build and build and build, because maybe one day I'll be able to do something substantial with it, which would be great. I didn't buy these Bitcoin. I earned these Bitcoin. Steven, what is up, dude? Thanks for the info. You're the man. I am. No, I'm kidding. Not at all. But I do appreciate that. Can you please talk about your strategy for managing your portfolio and any coins on your watch list? I'm pretty passive in terms of how I manage my portfolio. I try to find crypto that I feel confident in long term, and crypto that I think are crypto assets that I simply like long term, and that if it crashes, I'm not going to freak out. Like yesterday, while it was scary, while it sucks, while I'm getting text messages from all my friends like, yo, how's it feel, dude? You're an idiot. You lost all your money. When I really didn't. It was just I lost the money that I made since Saturday. So it is what it is. But I try to be, with just crypto in general and managing my portfolio, I try to have maybe 5 or 6 crypto that I really like, that I'm really excited about, that I think is at a point where it can continue to succeed in the marketplace, and hold on to those for the mid to long term. Whether that might be probably the shortest I'll look to hold on to a crypto asset in a lot of respects is like 2-3 weeks. Beyond that, it might be a couple months to maybe thinking like long term. Like, I plan on holding my Bitcoin, the Bitcoin I've acquired, I plan on holding my Bitcoin for a long time. So I just think that is a good, strong, long-term bet, and I plan on doing that for the long term. So I usually have 5-6 crypto that I'm invested in, try to analyze and look at a couple other ones out there, see what I might be able to find, and then just learn as much as possible to find and identify new opportunities along the way. Ted, what's up, dude? Just picked up some rye blocks for LTC on BitGrail. What is your outlook on rye blocks? Also, loving your choice of whiskey. Yeah, High West is phenomenal. Love High West. Whether it's the double rye, whether it's this is that like fancier Yippee-Ki-Yay rye, which is pretty good too. I actually kind of like the cheaper High West stuff better. And Campfire High West is good. I wanted to get it the other day, but I got barbecue, and it was like the smokiest barbecue ever. And I was like, if I get the smoky barbecue and the smoky campfire whiskey, I'm going to get like a headache from all the smoke. So I avoided that. But I, technically speaking, with rye blocks, I haven't done full due diligence on these guys. I mean, I know a lot of people are comparing them to trying to say they're the next IOTA, potentially comparing them in that range. So, and saying, hey, this is, I have the opportunity to potentially buy IOTA or buy something like IOTA at $577 million in market cap. And I want to hop on that train because IOTA is 10 billion now, and if it does what IOTA does, that's a 20x ROI. So I think that's a lot of what's driving this. I don't know, technically speaking, how they might stack up against IOTA because they're trying to do those basically instant, really highly scalable transactions. But there are issues. I mean, a lot of people have found issues in the past with fee-less transactions. There's a reason a lot of times there are fees. While fees suck when it comes to mining and when it comes to a lot of other things, there's typically a reason why fees are there. Helps to secure the network. Is it good to hold or sell profits? If sell, when? What is the best practice to know when it's time to sell? Thank you for your insight. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for the kind words. I do appreciate those. I mean, I think that's a determination on your end. You know, what are you trying to do with crypto? Are you trying to build up a portfolio long-term? Are you trying to look for short-term profits? For me, I mostly am just kind of in that hold game, accumulate, hold, accumulate, hold, accumulate, hold. I don't really have a big need personally to sell profits. Like I'm not looking to sell profits to buy Christmas gifts or whatever, to pay taxes, whatever. I look to buy and hold, accumulate. And that's just kind of because I do really think that while Bitcoin is going down right now, while a lot of crypto is down, I think in the near future, we're potentially going to see something like maybe $1 trillion market cap for the crypto market, maybe above that, and crypto becoming a new asset class in the investment game. So for me, I like to hold long term. But if you have, you get to a point where those profits are life-changing, you get to a point where those profits, make a difference for you, or you need those profits, then sell. It's really just a determination on everybody's different. So it's really just a determination on your end. Somebody said, you keep saying earn Bitcoin, not bought. Elaborate, please. It's just a joke based upon a commercial that is often advertised on my YouTube channel. I actually buy my Bitcoin. You really can't earn Bitcoin. It's a joke playing off the passive investment thoughts that a lot of people say. So do I think Ripple could get to $100? Payush, I appreciate that. No, I do not think Ripple could get to 100. Let's see, available supply. So if right now with Ripple there are 38 billion Ripple. So let's do some quick math on that and show you why that is silly to assume. You got 38 billion Ripple, so we'll do copy paste times 100 per coin, assuming the supply stays steady. You're talking about $3.8 trillion market capitalization Ripple. So no, I don't think that this would become I don't think Ripple would become a $3.8 trillion. There's really nothing, not much on there's not a $1 trillion company on the planet, let alone a $1 trillion crypto asset now. So that's what you have to do when it comes down to go over to on-chain FX, go wherever, find the available supply of said crypto. Whoops, there we go. Find the available supply of the crypto that you like, look on it, and then every time somebody says, hey, is this going to go up to $100? Is this going to go up to $1,000? Whatever. Go to the available supply, type in the price that you just mentioned, and then look at what that market capitalization is. You have a $3.8 trillion market capitalization coin with Ripple at $100. Or you have Bitcoin right now at $241 billion. Ripple ain't getting a 3.8 billion. Trillion, excuse me. Trillion. What privacy coin is the best store of value long term? I mean, me personally, right now, I like Zcash. I like Monero as well. I'm invested in Zcash. I like Zuko, one of the creators of Zcash. I like Monero. They're different in nature. Verge is obviously also another alternative. Nav is another one that has not done as well. Dash has elements of privacy as well. Dash has really crushed it, or did crush it. I mean, Dash is up to $1,200. I mean, they absolutely murdered it recently. So there are a number of assets out there that I think are pretty solid. Monero might be, in terms of store value long term, Monero might be a good fit. I think Zcash is probably another one. Verge might be a good, really long-term bet potentially, although it's obviously pumping really hard, so you run the risk of a significant pullback based upon that pump as well. Guys, outside of that, so if you are new to the channel too, one thing I will say there, so if you are new to the channel, I do daily videos on the subject of crypto. So if you haven't seen those before, would love to have you check those out. But I do daily videos on the subject of crypto, as well as these YouTube live crypto happy hours where I pop in. Sometimes they're planned, sometimes they're unannounced. But today, unfortunately, was a little bit unannounced. But try to usually give you as much heads up notice as possible. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, the notify bell next to it, and that way, that way you're able to get notified every time I do go live. So hopefully that helps you to join from the beginning. But outside of that, it is I got a long day tomorrow of Christmas shopping. So want to get a head start on that. And if you do have any questions, definitely let me know. We'll certainly do appreciate it. But just wanted to come in here briefly. The replay will be up shortly if you didn't get a chance to watch the entire thing. So sorry about that. Quan Chi. Oh, whoops. On the subway listening to C-Bay. What's up, Quan? Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate the super chat. Didn't see that there, man. Somebody said, when can we expect the David Hay Crypto Bobby collab live stream? Probably in the near term. We can definitely hit that up. Got a chance to hang out with David in Vegas, and that was awesome. So yeah, we'll definitely try to hit that up in the near future. But outside of that, guys, gonna head off for the evening after I get to this one last live chat. Brian Foster talked about total market cap. What do you think XRP could get to? $10. Shout out to my boy Adam Bumgardner. I mean, $10 is it's definitely a possibility. Certainly a possibility. I don't know if it's necessarily you're talking about Ripple being worth $450 billion. So is it possible? Yes. Do I think it's super likelihood? Maybe not. But I mean, super likely? Maybe not. But we'll have to see how it ends up going there. So certainly something to consider in the future. But outside of that, guys, I'm just going to block these Ponzi scheme comments. And then from there, we will we'll go on. I really do appreciate everybody's time. Thank you so much. Hopefully have another daily video for you tomorrow. But appreciate everybody coming on live. Crypto Bobby signing out. Have a good one. Take it easy. Awkward silence time. Oh, yeah. Always.